Hello, hello. This is gonna be my Survival Hunter guide for patch 9.1. And in case you guys don't know who I am, I've been playing survival since 2016, pretty much only. And at the moment, I'm the number 1, number 2, and number 3 survival hunter in 2s. And I'm also the number 1 hunter in 3s. Just to give myself some sort of credibility in case you guys don't know who I am. So I'm just gonna start out with the talents. So first here we have Viper's Venom. Now this is just the best talent overall. I know that there are some hunters that like to go Alpha Predator, but I feel like this is completely pointless. The biggest reason why I find Alpha Predator really useless is because Tranquilizing Shot gives you 10 focus if you purge someone, and then Flanking Strikes, which is a talent I'm going to talk about later, gives you 30 focus, which is a lot. And second off, since you pick Chakrams instead of Wildfire Infusion, your globals are going to be like, you need to weave in your bombs. Plus, since you're Venthyr, you're gonna get 3 kill shots, so you have a lot of more spells compared to BFA that doesn't cost any focus, which means that if you're not spending a lot of focus, you're not gonna run out of focus. So therefore, you don't need Alpha Predator. Plus, I guess like one thing about playing this is like you're gonna press Mend Pet more often as well, and like Steel Trap instead of, I mean, there's just so many globals that you need to press that doesn't cost any focus whatsoever, or it gives you focus. So compared to BFA, this is like so bad right now. So therefore, Viper's Venom, pretty sick. Pick this talent. But then again, this is like a 1% increase in my opinion. Like, I guess you could go Alpha Predator really if you want to, but I don't know. I would just recommend Viper's Venom every single game. And then this is like kind of bad, whatever. Guerrilla Tactics, however, though, this is like the best talent in this row by far. Nothing even comes close. Like, it's not even close to being close. This is just the best one by far. And then in this row, you can kind of pick every single talent here. Now, Trailblazer, even though this is like the least picked talent, it definitely has some usages. So for example, if you're playing a matchup where you don't need stealth in the opener, and the game is going to be short enough where you only need to press acceleration once, then Trailblazer will be your best option. This is mainly used to chase people around pillars. So maybe you're chasing like a Resto Druid or something, and you know, you're attacking him, blah blah blah, and then he goes behind the pillar, and then, you know, you can't reach him, but then you get the movement speed buff, so like maybe you can catch him around the corner a little bit quicker, stuff like that. I mean, it's obviously not amazing because you're not picking it every time, but it's definitely not as bad as a lot of people think. Because I do know that a lot of people just go camo every single game when it's not really necessary. Or they go natural mending where like they only press acceleration once because the game is like really short regardless. So even though I think camouflage and natural mending are better in 99% of cases, Trailblazer is still good. Okay, I just wanted to say that. But for the most part, you're gonna go camouflage. And so right now, I'm just gonna show you like some cool little tips and tricks that you can do with camo. So the one thing that is kind of cool about camouflage is that the stealth is really broken. So you can use stuff like Explosive Trap, you can use Tart Trap, Freezing Trap, Steel Trap, Intimidation, Kill Command, and it won't break your stealth. Really cool. So let me show you actually. So here, if I go Camouflage, you see I can Tart Trap this guy, I can trap this guy, Steel Trap this guy, I can knock away this guy, and I'm still in stealth. Yeah, kind of cool. One thing as well is that you can actually kill command, and you can still be in stealth. The one thing about this though is like whenever you press kill command in stealth, your pet auto attack swing and pet claw is gonna break your camo. So what you have to do, you have to press kill command and then pet passive immediately after, and then, you know, you can deal damage while in stealth. You can be a little bit of a freak show. I mean, for the most part, I mainly use this in arena. For example, if I'm against priest rogue and I don't want to get sapped, I can still be in combat while I'm in stealth, so the rogue can't sap me. So I don't know, if you abuse this versus rogues, you know, you can't get sapped in stealth. It's pretty broken. Also, speaking about rogues, I guess one thing you can do as well is like, you see here, hunter tracking. If you have track hidden available or on, you get 15 yards of stealth detection instead of 2 yards. So 15 yards looks like this. So between me and this guy, 15 yards. This is how much your stealth detection is if you have track hidden. But if you don't have track hidden, it goes down to 2 yards, which is like this, because it's your auto attack, like swing timer. Yeah, so it's like goes down to here. So yeah, guys, gotta have track hidden available. Not available, like on, I guess. Yeah. One thing as well that I want to show with camouflage that not a lot of people know is that you can pet bug camouflage. Whenever I mean pet bug with camo, is that if you go into camo and then you summon your pet, now your pet is not in camouflage, but this means that your pet is no longer tied to your own camouflage. So your pet can attack and he can do whatever the flip-flop he wants. And you see I'm still gonna be in, you know, I can like stun this guy, do this, you know. I can do everything that I want, and it won't take me out, which is kind of cool, you know. I mainly just use this into, for example, like demon hunters, because then I can get their spectral sight eye by doing damage with my pet, and you know, he won't be able to attack me because it breaks on damage, right? So I can just break it with my pet. Or if I'm against the rogue mage in 2v2 and I want to get a really strong opener, I can just sit in stealth and attack the mage, and then I'm forcing the rogue mage to open on my healer. Otherwise the mage is just gonna die to my healer plus my pet. So that's pretty good. Just make sure you abuse that, yeah? So that's enough about this row. Then in the 35 row, what we have here is a completely useless talent. This is so bad. The reason why it's so bad is because you don't necessarily press kill command that often. It's because I talked about it in this row. And since you don't press kill command that often, you don't necessarily need Bloodseeker at all. The attack speed is even bad. The reason why the attack speed is bad is because your auto attack swing timer, you're usually never gonna have like 100% efficiency out of it, because usually what will happen in arena is that you will like attack a guy for like a quick second, and then by the time that your next auto attack swing is gonna be available, it's gonna be up regardless, because like you're not in melee range all of the time. So just having it being like, instead of 3.6, it's gonna be what is it, like slash dump 3.6 times 0.10. I don't know, what am I doing? It's 3.6 divided by 0.10. It's gonna get reduced by, wait, can't I just do minus 0.36, right? Yeah, it's gonna be 3.24. Like, this doesn't really matter. Like, the fact you're saving like 0.3 seconds, and I guess you could theoretically get it down if you have more bleeds, but yeah, the attack speed doesn't necessarily matter at all, and the bleed doesn't do any damage because you never press kill command anyway, because you get focus with flanking strikes and tranquilizing shot for the most part. And this is not to say that kill command is completely bad, but what I mean by this is, let me show you a game, for example. I actually checked this. There was a game that I was playing. It was this game. This game was 6 minutes long, and I pressed 5 kill commands in 6 minutes. Look at my damage compared to his damage. 6-minute game, I pressed 5 kill commands. Now, I no longer have the details, but I checked it on my stream. because I remember this because someone was like asking me about kill command and blah blah blah. I pressed kill command 5 times in a 6-minute game and I did this much damage. So basically what I'm saying is that it's completely pointless to go Bloodseeker. Please, this is bad. Now about some actual good talents. I think Steel Trap is like the best choice here by far. Crows, I think it just does too little damage if I'm gonna be completely honest. Plus crows is just kind of bad because like there's a bug with crows that okay, so versus mobs it doesn't remove anyway, but against players you can't remove crows with like freezing trap or blind or polymorph or stuff like that, like usual CC that removes damage effects. Crows is just, it doesn't want to get removed. I don't know. So yeah, crows can be kind of awkward sometimes. The only real matchup that I pick crows into is if I'm against a hunter in a mirror matchup, because you can't actually feign death crows with the Craven stratagem legendary. And also I'm gonna touch more about the Craven legendary in a bit, but that's a fun fact that you can't actually remove crows with Craven. So it can be pretty decent in the hunter matchup because he can just feign death steel trap, you know. But yeah, like even into caster teams, I feel like having the root could be, you know, like a little bit better than the damage you get from crows. But yeah. And also real quick, in case you guys are wondering about this macro that I have, I'm just gonna talk about it real quick. See if I can find it. Should be here somewhere. Dude, where is it? Am I blind? Oh, here. Yeah, like it's just talent 2 out of, yeah, you know, 4-2, then it becomes steel trap on my cursor. If it's 4-2, then it becomes crows, blah blah blah. And then if it's Bloodseeker, then it becomes Serpent Sting for fun. But yeah, so the main reason why I think Steel Trap is just the best is because, I mean, the 8-second root is just really, really good. The one thing about this root, though, is that it breaks on around, I want to say like 4k damage. So you can do some damage into it before it actually breaks. So usually what will happen in arena is that if you're against a melee, you can first steel trap them, and then you can do like a Flayed shot into a Serpent Sting, and then you can bomb, and then like a little bit after the steel trap is gonna break, but like you get so many more globals off because like they're just chilling hard in the trap. Meanwhile you're pumping out like 1, 2, 3 globals into them to prep your damage, and they can't really retaliate in any form. So yeah, steel trap is very cool. Please learn to use this. It's really, really cool and good as well. Even into casters, you don't necessarily have to always pick crows. Yeah, steel trap is good. Yeah. Moving on. Oh yeah, also one thing I want to show. There is one glaring problem with steel trap that is cursing me. So steel trap currently is bugged, and this bug has been existing for the game for a very long time. Now what it is that if you line of sight the trap as it activates on the floor, the trap disappears. So what I mean by this is like, look at my Atar trap right now, okay? Atar trap, go behind the pillar, this still works, right? Do the same thing with freezing trap, go behind the pillar, it still works. But look at steel trap, this completely abomination of a trap. Look at this. It just completely goes away. So one thing about steel trap is that you have to look at the trap. You need to be in line of sight of the trap as it lands. Otherwise it just doesn't work. I can actually show you like an example right now just for fun. Like I literally don't care, like my guide is so scuffed, but this is just really funny. I just need to show you guys like how insanely bad steel trap is. I think it's here somewhere. Let me get here. Steel trap is a good spell. Look at this clip. Look what happens here. Do you guys see? I'll just steel trap the healer who doesn't have freedom. Okay, so basically what happened here is like, let me slow it down for you guys. I may mute myself. So look at my steel trap here, right? So I'm pressing it, but since I'm going behind the pillar, I'm instantly lining my steel trap so it doesn't work. And then it just removes itself. So the trap just completely goes away. So you have to pay attention to this. You can't do this. You have to actually look at the trap as it lands on the floor. I know this bug, it completely sucks, but that's just the way it is. I just have to learn with it, and yeah. Also, really fun fact about this. If a rogue is standing in a smoke bomb, let's say my pet over here is like in a smoke bomb by the rogue, right? I can't actually steel trap the rogue in the smoke bomb, because naturally the smoke bomb creates a line of sight, you know? So I won't be in line of sight of my trap. So if someone is inside a smoke bomb, you can't steel trap them. Unless you're also inside the smoke bomb with them, then it would work. But like, I don't know, this bug is, yeah, you know, it's not very cool. Okay guys, level 40 talent. We have this, which is kind of bad. Post haste, which is the most broken thing in the game. Like, look how fast I am after I disengage. Wow, so fast. And then you have a binding shot. Now, binding shot, it's not bad at all, but for the most part you're gonna get better value out of post haste. But I mean, if you want, you could like experiment with binding shot if you want. I've heard that people want to pick it into like Windwalker monks or stuff like that, but yeah, I don't know, I feel like it's better to go with post haste, because having the movement speed increase plus the slow removal and the root removal, it's just really good. So I would just recommend post haste like every single time. But you definitely could play binding, as long as you don't go this is like garbage, bro. And then we have this row. We have tip of the spear, mongoose bite, and flanking. Now I would say flanking is the best choice by far. The reason why is because it does illegal amounts of damage. It's just too high right now. Like, I have done 12k crits in arena with flanking strikes on the leather. It's just crazy. It does way too much damage. And also the one thing about flanking strikes is that for the most part it will make your raptor strikes do more damage than tip of the spear, which might sound a little bit counterintuitive, but let me explain. So if you play tip of the spear, right? Raptor strike costs focus. Yeah? Now how do you get focus? You press kill command. But kill command is a global that deals no damage. You basically only press this to get focus. Now flanking strike, however, this is a global that gives twice the amount of focus, and it does the same damage as like 2 raptor strikes. So the global advantage you get out of pressing flanking strikes is so much higher than tip of the spear, it's ridiculous. Like, 1 flanking strikes basically equates to pressing 2 kill commands and 2 raptor strikes. So you're like 4 globals ahead, plus it's a gap closer. Like, this shit's crazy. If you use this well enough, you basically never need to press kill command ever. And if you don't press kill command, you can press more raptor strikes. I mean, this is like so good. This is like kind of the like what I was talking about in this game. That was 6 minutes long and I pressed 5 kill commands, because I'm basically only using flanking strikes and trank darts to get all the focus that I need. I mean, it's so broken. And then also, speaking about mongoose bite is bad. Okay guys, I'm so sorry to tell you guys this, but mongoose bite is bad. Gifting more haste won't fix the issue. I had to like write this thing to show you why it's bad. So compared to BFA, so right now you have 100 focus, you don't have 120, so it's like harder to get the focus, right? To get like your mongoose bite window. Second off, you have so many more global suppress right now. So before, you know, you would play with Wildfire Infusion, you could just like throw all your bombs into the ocean, and then your only global was like Mongoose Bite and kill command to press, right? But you can't do this anymore because now you have to go chakrams because Wildfire Infusion sucks. And you have Flayed Shot and Kill Shot to press within your rotation. Plus, pressing Ment Pet is way more important now because for some reason, Revive Pet is a 4-second channel time, and if your pet ever dies, it's over, GG. Unless you like feign death camo or something and then revive your pet from stealth, but that's like a, you know, whatever. So you just have way more globals to press. It's like so hard. Let me actually try to like demonstrate how hard it is. Okay, so let's say you wanna get like a Mongoose by the window, okay? I guess you would do like one bomb into Flayed Shot, Serpent Sting. Let's do like a wrap. Okay, oh, I got a kill shot proc. Oh, I got a thing proc. I wanted to press my bomb now. Okay, now I guess now, but now I'm out of focus. Oh no, and now I don't have flanking strikes, and now it's over. Oh no, and now I don't have my focus left, and like and like so the way that Mongoose Bite plays, you kind of have to go Alpha Predator. But then again, if you go Alpha Predator, this deals no damage, right? Like Alpha Predator doesn't do any damage. That's like the problem, because kill command does no damage. So you're essentially spending a global that deals no damage so you can press a global that deals damage. Or what you could do is you can play this build, and now every single gold global that you press deals damage. You guys know what I mean? Like now every global that I press is completely scary, instead of just, oh, let me go Alpha Predator and then Mongoose Bite, and then I'm gonna pool my focus and I'm gonna like mid-max, and then I'm gonna make sure that I get like a really good Mongoose Bite window. I'm gonna burst them down and blah 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 blah. But you can't do that now because your rotation is way more. You have so many more buttons to press that like fucks up your rotation. So you can't go Mongoose Bite. You can't. Now what do we have? Yeah, I was taught the Alpha Predator is worse. Blah blah blah. It's not very consistent, as I was talking about earlier, because this relies on you getting your Mongoose by the window off, which could be hard because it requires you to be melee range, which is cringe. Or you could just play this, and then every global is super scary. What else do we have? Some yummy water. And the second off, they buffed Tip of the Spear and flanking strikes, right? So they buffed this by like 25%, and then they buffed flanking strikes by, I'm gonna say, maybe like a 50% buff. This shit is so insane, by the way. Yeah, also this is like, yeah, I talked about this here, and then here is very cool, and then, yeah, you guys know what I mean? Yeah. Also, it's bad. Let me talk about Wildfire Infusion, why this is bad. So this used to be good back in the days because we had a trait called the Wilderness Survival Wildhead. Let me show you guys this. Raptor Strike did more damage and reduced the cooldown of bomb by 1 second. So your bomb cooldown was way shorter than 15 seconds, which meant that you had like a lot of bombs available to press. So you couldn't really go chakrams, because if you went chakrams, what would happen would be like you pressed a bomb and then you would do some raptor strikes and then you would bomb again. But now, since you pressed so many raptor strikes, you would have like another bomb available, and then it would just get to the point where like you had too many bombs and you couldn't like, you know, do anything with them. So you had to like, it was just very awkward. Like you just couldn't play it. So you had to go Wildfire Infusion so you can double bomb people. Now, in case you guys don't know what a double bomb is, it's that all of these effects are, you know, they're counted as like a different dot. So you can have 2 bombs rolling at the same time for like big burst like this, you know, you double the damage, super cool. But the reason why it's bad right now is because look at the cooldown. look at the cooldown. You can't make it faster. You have to wait 30 seconds before you can double bomb again. Like what even is that? And if you're spending 30 seconds to double bomb, the problem with this, as I was saying earlier, is that you're not weaving in your bombs, which is a global that costs no focus, within your rotation, which means that you're gonna run out of focus, which means that you maybe have to go Alpha Predator. But as I was saying earlier, this is cringe because it does no damage. So you want to go Viper's Venom for more dam. But now it's just awkward because like this is a button that you want to press as a way to like pseudo get focus. You know, because like I don't know, I see it as a focus generator kinda, because you regen your passive focus because it doesn't cost anything. If that makes any sense. So yeah, I don't know. It just makes the entire thing like very, very awkward and like I don't know. Plus chakrams is kind of cool. Let me talk about chakrams actually. Now the thing about chakrams is that it does a lot of damage. But a lot of people just look at the tooltip and they don't understand how it works. So let me talk about the tooltip here, yeah? Okay, let me talk about the tooltip. So how this works is that it does 1,281 damage, and then it goes back, which means that it does damage twice. So in reality, it does times 2. Oops, it is. Now what am I doing? This times 2. So it does 2,562, right? And the main target takes 100% more damage. So actually, it does 2562 times 2. So it does 5,124. Now if you look at Raptor Strike, that's like 1k more damage than Raptor Strike, and it costs 15 focus, and it's ranged. What? That's so good, right? It's like it's more damage than a bomb. But I feel like a lot of people can't read, or that the tooltip is just so ambiguous that like they don't understand that, you know, the tooltip is actually meant to say your main target takes 5,124 physical damage. Like it doesn't do 1,281. That's not how it works. It's just that they take the damage twice, and then that damage is increased by 100%. So it's 5,124. So yeah, I don't know. This is just good. Plus, it kills totems and stuff, and it kills stuff like War Banner, blah blah blah. I have a game here where I can show you. I'm gonna talk about this later though. Ways you could use chakrams to kill totems into shamans. So for example, let me show you right meow a little example. Let's pretend this guy is like a shaman, right? And what I could do is that I can chakrams. Oh no. Fuck, I had the wrong focus. But I wanted to do is like, if I chakrams here, right? And I chakrams to him, and then as the chakrams comes back, since it deals damage to totems, you can just trap him, and it will kill the grounding totem. So let me show you. Imagine this is a shaman, right? Press chakrams, trap. And then this chakrams is gonna kill the grounding totem. So like, there's no counterplay. And it's pretty good, yeah? I'll talk about it later, yeah? Okay, so this basically goes over every single talent. Yeah, hopefully I explained it in good detail, because I swear I'm getting asked about the talents 24/7 on my live stream. But yeah, hopefully you guys understand a little bit. Also, let me talk about Burst of Prey. This is bad. Don't pick this. Whatever. So let me hop over to the PvP talents. So the one thing about the PvP talents is that pretty much everything can be played except for stick guitar. So talking about talents is kind of awkward for me, because I have to talk about the scenarios where you can go everything except for stick guitar. So there's a world where you want to play hunting pack, where bandage is good, tracker's net is good, diamond eyes can be good, tactics can be good, dragon scale can be good, trank darts can be good, wild kingdom can be good, and then knock trap and chimerial. So I think that this is probably the best default. You guys can print screen this, I don't know, frame it to your wall, do whatever you want. If I would recommend one talent page for every single scenario, this would be it. It's like a perfect mix of like offensive and defensive stuff. And like they're good into like most things. So I would have this as a talent. I mean, I would have this as a default, and then change like 1 or 2 talents depending on like what you're facing. So for example, let's say you're playing this as a default, and then you're against like a DK warrior in 3v3. Now maybe you want to have Knock Trap instead of Chimerial because you think it's good. So now you can play these talents, and then you're fine. Or if you're against like a caster cleave where you don't necessarily need survival tactics, you could maybe play something like this if they have a Resto Druid on their team, because Tranquilizing Dart is really good into Resto Druids, because the way that it works is that if you purge someone that has a lot of healing over time effects on them, it's gonna reduce all of the healing over time effects by 4 seconds. So for example, if a druid presses Overgrowth, you can just purge them, and you first get the 1 buff, right? And then you reduce everything by 4 seconds. So it's really, really good into Resto Druids. But then again, you know, you could also play something like this into caster teams if you don't feel like you get a lot of value out of Chimerial Sting. You can also maybe drop Roar of Sacrifice, and you can play this maybe into some caster teams if you really want to. Or let's say you're against like a Feral Druid, you could play Mending Bandage. Or if you want to have a more defensive thing, you can go something like Survival Tactics and Mending Bandage versus a Feral Druid. If you're against like an Asa Rogue, you could play something like this. So the reason why I feel like Knock Trap is really good into Asa Rogues is because if they kidney shot your healer, what you could do is that you can knock him away and then harpoon him. So he's gonna be flying away, and then so let's pretend like, okay, imagine there's a rogue and he presses kidney on your healer. If you knock him away, he's gonna get knocked away from your healer, right? And then you can harpoon him so he gets rooted away from your healer, and then you can steel trap him after. So that's like a good way to peel. So I think knock harpoon is really good to do versus Asa rogues. Or if you're against a rogue mage, let's say you're against like Asa rogue mage, you could play this maybe. Into some melee teams you could also play Hunting Pack with maybe survival tactics if you're gonna be the person who's getting trained. Or if you want to be full on peel mode, you can go maybe something like this, so you can knock them away, and then you can go close to your healer, press cheetah on him, and then you can give him freedom and you can make him very fast. Yeah. Or for example, let's say you're against a rogue in 2s or in 3s even. You can maybe go Tracker's Net, so you can reduce the damage that he deals in the opener, and then this could be depending on what you're against. So maybe you want to go survival tactics, you can live a little bit longer. You can also go Chimerial Sting, so you can live a little bit longer, or play more offensive with it with the silence, depending on how you use it. Or you could go Knock Trap as well into it. I mean, there are so many ways that you can mid-max and change your talents and everything. The one thing that I would say though is that you have no talent here that is a mandatory talent. Like, people are saying that Roar of Sacrifice is a mandatory talent. It really is not. You can like play without the Roar of Sacrifice. It's just that like at the moment in this meta, it's really good to have because it's mandatory into like fire mages or ret paladins, maybe rogues as well. feel like it's kind of mandatory into. It's really good into BM hunters. But yeah, so it's definitely really good, but you can swap it. Like, for example, if I'm playing against, I don't know, Shadow Priest, Affliction Warlock, I might play something like Chimerial Sting, Dragon Scale Armor, and then if they have a Resto Druid, I could play Tranquilizing Darts, for example. Something like this would be really good into Affliction, Shadow Priest, Resto Druid. So yeah, like every single talent here can be swapped and stuff like that. So it's really hard for me to give like a really good explanation about when you can pick each talent, because it really just depends. And then also touching about Wild Kingdom, this can be played you know, if you're against a team that like completely one blasts your pet. So if you face a team and you know that they're gonna tunnel your pet, maybe next time you're against them you can go Wild Kingdom to make it harder for them to kill your pet, stuff like that. So, and then Diamonize, I feel like Diamonize I would maybe pick if you're against, I don't know, like Shadow Priest, Demon Hunter. I feel like that seems like a really hard team to land a trap into, because they have reverse and like Master Spell. Or maybe if you're against like Shadow Priest, Affliction Warlock, or Shadow Priest, DMO, maybe something like that. Maybe not DMO Warlock, because they're usually playing with the Felguard, but like if you're against like Destro, SP or something. So while I feel like Diamonize isn't that good in like most cases, there's definitely, you know, times where you want to go Diamonize. And you can also play Diamonize in 2v2 if you want to train the healer the entire game, and then you can just trap the DPS over and over again. That's also like a viable way to use this talent. So I don't know, there's just so many things. As long as you don't go Sticky Tar, you're kind of chilling. This is the only talent you never want to pick, but then everything else here just kind of depends on the scenario. But as long as you have this as your default, you can basically, you can kind of do whatever. So let me go in more detail about each specific thing, because so some people have been asking me, or yeah, they have been, yeah, like, what's the point of survival tactics if you already have Craven Stratagem? So the thing with survival tactics is it's really good to reduce the damage from damage that you know is already going to happen to you. So for example, if there's a Windwalker monk and he presses like Fist of Fury on you, or he's going to press like Spinning Crane Kick with one of his Shi, this talent, let me show you. So if he has this proc, Windwalker, here, Spinning Shi has a chance to make your next Spinning Crane Kick free and deal 200% more damage. So if he has his clones out and he gets a Dance of Shiji proc, if you see him pressing Spinning Crane Kick, you know, you can just press Feign Death and you will get a big boy shield, and then you basically immune all the damage. Or for example, if there's a Ret Paladin pressing Divine Toll into Final Reckoning, you know, you can literally see with your eyeballs the Final Reckoning 3 Judgment blasting your face into the big Final Reckoning. You know, it's so obvious. You can just press Feign Death and you will immune all the damage, and then you're fine. Or for example, if there's a warrior and he's pressing like Condemned Charge on you, naturally you can see the Condemned Charge, so you can just press Feign Death whenever you get charged. Or let's say you're against like a Boomkin and you see him pressing like a Star Surge, you can see the Star Surge flying towards you. You can press Feign Death, you get a big immunity shield, and then you Feign Death all the damage. Or if there's like a big Chaos Bolt flying in the air, you can just, instead of Feign Deathing the actual cast so it doesn't go off, you can Feign Death after he casted Chaos Bolt, so you can immune the damage plus make him waste the charge. I mean, there's lots of like other things as well, but basically right now in this meta, survival tactics is really good because if you use it well enough, you can immune a lot of damage. Some other things as well. Actually, I guess not. I guess touching about like mending bandage, like people have been asking me like, what do you use mending bandage on? Like, when do you press it? Because, you know, naturally, you know that like it's good to go mending bandage into feral druids and asa rogues, but when do you actually want to press it? So for asa rogues, you want to press it whenever they press kidney shot. Now the main reason why is because they have this talent, internal bleeding, which does a lot of damage on their kidney shot, which is a bleed. Plus, whenever they press kidney shot, usually that means that they already have like rip and I mean not rip, but they have rupture and oh man, what's it called? Garrote, yeah, Garrote. So also touching about the Garrote, if they are in stealth, their Garrote deals more damage. This thing. Subterfuge. Also causes Garrote to deal 80% more damage and have no cooldown when used from stealth. So if they ever get a re-stealth, or if they press vanish and then they press Garrote, you can just use mending bandage to remove this. So a lot of the time what will happen is that they will like open from stealth, do a big Garrote into like a rupture, and then they will kidney shot after. Then it would be good to get the bleeds, you know, because then they have like a big Garrote rolling, and they have the kidney bleed, and they have, I mean, probably like deadly poison as well. So usually it's just best to press mending bandage on their kidney shot, I would say. And then into feral druids, for the most part, it's best to remove this thing called Feral Frenzy, which does a lot of damage. I mean, this does like, you can do 20k damage with one Feral Frenzy. Plus, a lot of the time, what will happen is that they will use Feral Frenzy into Rip, because it gives them like combo points. Or they can do Feral Frenzy into Maim. So yeah, I would recommend dispelling Feral Frenzy. And if you need some help to recognize these buffs, I have a Tell Me When right here, which showcases Feral Frenzy, Flayed Shot, Sepsis, Rip, Rupture, and then I have all my teammates. So if one of my teammates have like these buffs, then I will see it. So yeah. Or, you know, you can just what you could do as well is you can go to your Omni bar, and then you can make Feral Frenzy here, and then you can just see that he pressed Feral Frenzy with your eyes, and then you can just dispel your teammate. So those are the things that I would recommend. Dispelling with mending bandage, but also Flayed Shot is a bleed, but it's a shadow bleed. So this means that you can actually mending bandage off the Flayed Shot, which is really good into hunter matchups. So I would recommend picking mending bandage into hunters as well, because 99% of the time they're playing Venthyr. So yeah, it's good to dispel. And I think that's kind of it about the talents. Actually, I guess I can talk about Chimerial Sting for a sec, because oh my god, I need to go drink some water. I can't speak anymore. I've had a lot of questions about when do you actually press Chimerial Sting. Now, for the most part, it's really hard to say, because it's such like a unique spell, you know? Like, you can use this on the kill target to slow them into the silence, or you can use it on the healer. So like, let's say you can do a like a silence. You're waiting here, and you get the silence. After the silence, you can maybe stun them, and then after this, and then you can trap, you know, for example, blah blah blah. You can also use it on the off target, you know, so maybe he can't like heal for his teammates because he's gonna get silenced in a sec. So it's really hard to really say when to use this at its best, but yeah, it's a really good spell. So I would just recommend like playing around with it, and then you know you'll see how it goes. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend it every single game. I mean, there are some games where maybe Knock Trap would be better, or maybe Tactics would be better, or maybe Trank Darts would be better. So it's not a default talent, but it's definitely like a really good talent. Okay. I guess second off, I can talk about the gear. So the one thing about the gear is that you want to stack as much haste and verse as possible. Now, the haste that you will want to get, my recommendation, if possible, is try to get 22.23% haste with the Malediction trinket. This would be like the most optimal thing, in my opinion. Now, in case you guys are wondering why 22.23, and the reason for it is because of the Venthyr Flayed shot. So let me go to the mathematics website right here. So the way that you can do this is that if you type in this formula, and this number 11 means how many ticks you want. So naturally, like how Flayed shot works is that if you see here, like it does damage, and each damage is a tick, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So with this amount of haste, I get 12 ticks. Now, how do I know this? Well, type in 12 over here, and you get this, 100 divided by 3. You go here, 100 divided by 3. Oh no, oops, oh no, this is +1 actually, so it's one lower actually how it works. But yeah, so the next breakpoint would be 33.34 because it rounds up. So yeah, it would actually be, if you're looking for 11 ticks, I have it here as well. 22. Oh, actually, it's not 22, 12. It's very strange. Oh yeah, never mind. True, because it's the one below it. Oh yeah, true actually. So this is up to this. So anything below this. So you actually need to look for 11, and then it's the one above it. Oh my god. So if it's 11, here it's 200 divided by 9. You will see what that would be. 200 divided by 9. You will get 22.23. So naturally, if you go one step above, you're gonna be at like 11.001, which the game thinks that this number, like 11.001, is equal to 12. So you get 12 ticks. Because if you look here, how the game did everything, like each tick did like the same amount of damage, except for the last tick, which is like the 0.001 blah blah blah, because it was just trying to like squeeze it in with the extra haste. So yes, okay. And then I have it written down here on my Twitch as well, so you know like how many ticks of Flayed shot you will get depending on how much haste you have. But that is the formula that people have been using to calculate how many ticks that you will get. So crit is actually not even that bad of a stat. So I would recommend getting some crit at least, because a kill shot actually has a increased crit modifier. So it does 25% more damage whenever it crits. And then mastery is just like the worst stat by far. Like it's so bad. If you ever have any mastery, just try to replace the piece as soon as you can, because it's just not very good. And then I guess talking about the trinkets. So if you're playing human, I would recommend playing Relay pretty much every game. It's really strong, mainly into like mages and druids, because you can't get a roar cloned, You can't get like Dragon's Breath into like a polymorph or whatever because the CC reduction, you know, doesn't allow for it. So really, really good. Plus rogues can't really kill you because you reduce the damage you take in a stun. So pretty cool. But then some other trinkets you can play. I guess like Alacrity and the Emblem trinket could be playable, but I feel like right now this Maledict trinket does so much damage, so you're kind of forced to play with it. Plus it's like really good in like basically every single comp ever in 2s and 3s, so highly recommend it. Really good. And then, you know, for enchant you can go Celestial Guidance, but Sinful Revolution works as well, but I just prefer this. So yeah, that's basically like what I would do with my gear. I would try to be as close to 22.23% haste as possible, and then just stack verse, and then you can get like a little bit of crit as well. Not bad. So that's kind of it about the gear. So let me talk about the Soulbinds. So here I have the Soulbinds. Now this is the one that I'm going for the most part. The reason why is because Agent of Chaos is really crazy. You know, you can CC someone for 3 seconds and then trap them afterwards. But usually this is like... Okay, so in 2v2, you can use Door of Shadows to remove Holy Ward, which is this thing. Wowhead, Holy Ward. This spell. Now, since the only way that you can remove Holy Ward is with using your stun or your trap, but they have such a long cooldown. Or I guess you can get lucky and you can like remove it with Tranquilizing Shot, but it's not really reliable. So having Agent of Chaos with your door to like remove the Holy Ward is so good. So highly recommend using Door of Shadows to remove Holy Ward against the Holy Priest. And then here, you know, we just have like Ambuscade, blah blah blah, stuff like this, blah blah blah. And just big dam, stuff like this. But then I want to talk about this Conduit. Now this Conduit it's kind of broken because it's bugged. So how this works? Let me first explain this macro that I made right here. My Hunter's Mark. So it's a slash cast at mouse over. If the mouse over exists, it will cast Hunter's Mark, and then if it doesn't exist, it's just gonna cast Hunter's Mark on my target. So the way that this Conduit works, this one, is that it's not actually tied to the Hunter's Mark, it's tied to your target. Now what this means is that if I'm targeting this guy, I'm targeting him, but I mouse over Hunter's Mark some other person, let's say this guy for example, the Conduit is gonna go on this guy forever. He will always have this Conduit no matter what, and then the Conduit doesn't go on him because, you know, he was the one that, you know, it's not my target. So what I could do is like I can target this guy, mouse over Hunter's Mark, target this guy, mouse over Hunter's Mark. So you see how this would be kind of good in arena, right? So in the opener, usually what I do is that, let me go over to the other training dummies. So let's pretend I'm playing 3v3 or 2v2 arena right now. So what I do in the opener is that I sit in stealth. This is the healer, and then I put the healer on my focus. I target one of the DPS, and then I Hunter's Mark the healer, and I target the other DPS, and then I Hunter's Mark the healer. So now both of the DPS will have this Conduit that they do less damage to me for the entire game, and it's not dispellable. And you could just do this in stealth. And there's no counterplay to this. Like, it's really broken, so you guys have to go abuse this before it gets fixed, because it's yeah, this Conduit is really good. And I guess, I mean, every other Conduit is kind of like self-explanatory. I don't know, it just increases the damage. This is just reduces the cooldown of this is just reduce the cooldown. This is just increase the proc chance and the crit damage and blah blah blah. Yeah. So This is like the only conduit that needs some explaining. I'm pretty good. Yeah, make sure you use this conduit and abuse it, because it's really good. Yeah. But then second off, you can also go this Draven page. Oops, it is. Let me go. Oh no, here the Draven pages. So this is more of like a defensive build, because you know you have this thing, the damage reduction, 10% when you're below 40, and also you can go hold your ground, so you get more health if you're standing still, which is mainly gonna be used into like a rogue mage if you're gonna sit like a rogue stun or something like that. You know, you can just get more health while you're in the stun, and then maybe you will live because of it in combination with the damage reduction. So I would mostly only really go Draven into like rogue mage or any rogue team kinda, where you can just die in CC. So, but then for everything else I would just go Nadja, because it deals more damage. Plus this thing is really broken. Like after you get your Euphoria thing, you get 20% verse, so you can do a lot of damage with that. I'm trying to think, is there like anything else about the conduits that I can talk about? I mean, I guess Theatar, but I don't know. Theatar is gonna troll, if I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't necessarily recommend Theatar. Just stick to this page, Nadja, you're gonna be completely fine. And then swap into this page if you're against the rogue mage. Okay? It should be fine, yeah. Okay, cool. Nice. So then, let me talk about the pet. So, let me go to this nifty little website called Petopia. Wow. So how the pets work is that you have a cunning pet, a ferocity pet, or tenacity pets. So cunning pets for the most part are going to be the best pet that you want to have, because the movement speed and the master's call is really good. And then the best effect right now is mortal wounds, which is a healing reduce effect by 25%. And the best pet is a raptor that is undead. Now, why do you want to have an undead pet? Well, let me show you this thing here. So there are some CCs in this game that has a requirement where you can only use it on specific mob types. So let's say, for example, Hibernate. This can be used on Beast and Dragonkin. And since a regular Raptor is a beast, but this is an undead, you can't hibernate this undead pet, because he ain't a beast, bro. So the undead pets are immune to hibernate, they are immune to scare beast, they are immune to imprison, they are immune to polymorph, they are immune to sap and hex. So if you're against classes that can do any of these bad boys, it's really good to have an undead raptor. If you're against anything else, it doesn't really matter. And in the case of paladins and priest, it can be a downside to have an undead pet, because you know you can repentance the undead pet, but you can't with a beast. You can shackle the undead pet, you can turn evil the undead pet, and the worst offender of them all is Wake of Ashes. Oh my god. This is a big burst cooldown that red paladins have, and it just has like demon and undead enemies are also stunned for 5 seconds. So, like, what? If you ever pick an undead pet into a red paladin, you are literally trolling. That's all I'm gonna say. Just a quick reminder, don't go undead pet into red paladins, please. For the love of God. You don't know how many games I have lost because my pet got stunned and I couldn't use like my stun, for example, and then we lost the game. Or I couldn't press for a Roar of Sacrifice. My god. Okay, just play a regular pet. So what I would do is that I have 2 pets. I have an undead pet and I have a regular beast pet that I use into red paladins and priests for the most part. And then for the third pet that I would recommend having is one pet for like PvE scenarios, or if you're doing world quest or anything out in the world. You know, having the extra leech can be very helpful, plus having bloodlust can be kind of helpful as well. So I would recommend a ferocity pet. And then You can kind of go whatever pet you want, but I prefer either a slow pet for world PvP or mortal wounds for world PvP. Yeah, that's kind of it. And then if you want to be like a little bit extra tanky, you could go a tenacity pet as well. And then naturally you would want to have a tenacity pet with mortal wounds for PvP, so you go either a direhorn, hydra, lizard, or river beast. And yep, that's kind of it. And just to show like how the website works, like let's say you want to have like a lizard. Let me show you the lizard that I have. It's actually a rare mob. Wowee. Look at him. Damn, he's so cool. So I mainly play this pet, sometimes into rogue mage, sometimes into ret paladins. Yeah, like whenever I just want to have like the little bit of extra health and the 20% damage reduction, you know, you can play a tank pet, but for the most part, you're mainly going to be using a cunning pet, but tenacity pets are definitely not bad. They yeah, you can definitely play them. So that's good to know. So there are 4 pets that I would recommend. So I'm just gonna say it again. Let me go over to the stable masters. I will show you. The 4 pets that you need is a undead raptor, a non-undead, like a beast cunning pet. So this could be a hyena, it could be a raptor, or it could be a rodent. So that would be this pet. You want to have any form of ferocity pet for like world quest and world PvE and stuff like that, and just questing. Having the extra leech is very helpful. So it can be any of these red pets. And then you want to have a little bit of a tank pet in case you need it into like stuff like red paladins or maybe rogue mage. So then it would be these blue pets and then the mortal wounds effect. So yeah, super cool. Also, quickly touching, let's say for example you're already playing with a class that has mortal wounds, like an arms warrior. Then the best pet would be a mechanical pet. The reason why is because the mechanical pet are immune to the same amount of things as the undead pet, but there is no downside. Like they're just immune to imprison, hibernate, scare beast, polymorph, sap, hex, like banish. They're not humanoids, so they're immune to like seduction, shackle. They're like immune to everything here except for these any effects. So yeah, they're immune to everything down here. So yeah, it's really good to have a mechanical pet in that scenario. But since I don't play with a warrior or maybe like a demon hunter, I don't think it's necessary. Okay, so I think I can talk about it a little bit, because like a lot of guides that I see online right now, they're just talking about this, right? They're just talking about, here are the talents you want to play, here is the gear you want to have, here's the gems you want to go, here are the Soulbinds. So while all of this is like really good information, it doesn't tell you how to play. So now I'm gonna tell you how to play. So first I'm gonna go over like the rotation and like what you should be thinking about when it comes to priorities of the spells. And then I have a VOD to go over here. I mean, I have a lot of VODs, but I picked out this one because I think it's kind of, it just showcases a lot of the things that I want to talk about. So I have done a lot of coaching on survival hunters. So the main issue that I see that 99% of players are doing is that they are trapping at the wrong time. So what I mean by this is that a lot of people's instinct is, let's say the game starts and then this is the healer and this is the kill target. What they do is that they just harpoon trap in the opener and then they pop every single cooldown and then they start doing damage. Yeah. Now the problem with this is that it's just unnecessary. and you're missing a lot of potential damage. So what I mean by this is that, let me just break this trap, whatever. So what I mean by this is that you could have just done all of your damage and then trap, right? Because if you think about it, the first globals that you press at the start of the game, they don't really do that much damage. You know, like bomb initial damage is like fine, but it's mainly just for the dot. Flayed shot does no damage. This is a dot. So your first 3 globals of the game does basically no damage whatsoever. But you only press them so you will do more damage over time, right? So let's, like, I give an example. Like, let's say you're playing a warlock, right? You're playing a affliction warlock. There would be no scenario as an affliction warlock where you would fear the enemy first and then apply your dots, right? Like, naturally you would just apply your dots first and then go for the fear. And the same thing goes for survival hunters. So usually the opener that I would recommend to 99% of people is a bomb, flayed shot, stun the healer, serpent sting, chakrams, trap, and then now you can start doing your regular rotation. That's the opener that I would recommend for the most part. I'm just gonna type it as well. Bomb, flayed shot, stun, healer, serpent sting, chakrams, trap, normal rotation. This is just what I would recommend for the most part. 99% of games you want to do this global or like this rotation, but I mean, you can mix it up if you want. Like, you can do, like, if you want to be very greedy, you can do like wildfire bomb, into flayed shot, serpent sting, chakrams, raptor strike, trap, and then now you can like pop cooldowns. You know, this could work as well. You could also do a very chic, this is like an opener that I recently started doing, and it's really fun and it's really good, I feel like. If you do wildfire bomb, flayed shot, chimerial sting, serpent sting, chakrams, stun bomb, and then you can do your regular, you can do like one more global. This could either be kill shot if you have a proc, or a flanking strikes, or a trap. So let me show you this. So it's bomb, flayed shot, chimerial sting, one global, another global, one global, another global, stun as the thing fades, 1, 2 globals, trap. So you see how many like damage globals you can press and the healer is still CC'd, kinda? Because naturally healers can't out heal your dots because the damage hasn't happened yet, you know? So there's almost no scenario where you ever want to CC before you have any damage out on the target. The only time it's good to stun or CC the healer without prepping any damage is if you're against like a resto druid that can just press like iron bark and overgrowth on the target or something like that. Or maybe you're playing 3v3, because in 3v3 the game is a little bit different because it doesn't really matter. Like, your damage isn't as relevant, it's more about like the team pressure. So, but yeah, I would just practice like doing some damage to the kill target before you actually go for the CC. That would be like the biggest thing. And then also I would recommend practicing disengage trapping, because a lot of healers have ways to get out of trap. So priest, for example, can use shadow word death, paladins can maybe pet taunt your pet, monks can teleport away, but like druids can maybe vortex you on your harpoon, or they can just like wild charge away on your harpoon. So a lot of healers, what they will do is that they will see in the middle of their screen that they get rooted by harpoon, and then they will press like a button instantly. So ways to go around this is to just disengage trap. Now this can take a lot of practice, blah blah blah, but like I swear, it's so good to do because 99% of healers into survival are just conditioned to only press Grounding Totem and Shadow Word Death and teleport whenever they see that they get harpooned. But if you just disengage over to them, they won't have the reaction time to do anything. So it's like it's not like an easy way to land a trap, but it's more of like a efficient way. Plus, doing it this way means that you can harpoon back to your target so you can start doing more damage. But let me talk about this game a little bit. Let me just... Okay, let me slow it down. And then I can talk about what happens this game. Speed, slower. Okay, cool. So here are my talents for this game. As you see, this is the default talent build that I was talking about earlier. So the reason why I was playing this, like, I feel like Chimerial Sting is really good into Rusty Shamans because it allows you to extend the CC. Plus it makes it so you can just Chimerial Sting and then you can guarantee the Harpoon trap because he can't press Grounding Totem when he's silenced. So plus you can also use Chimerial into the Monk. Let's say, for example, if he doesn't have Tiger's Lust to remove roots and slows, you can just pop the Chimerial Sting on him and he will be a very slow boy and he can't necessarily do anything. So it has a lot of usages. And then War of Sacrifice is needed here to save my healer because if he gets leg swept and then he has a lot of damage, Roar of Sacrifice can just save him so he can't get crit. And then Tactics is really good into Windwalkers, as I was stating earlier. If they get like a lot of procs, or maybe they press Wind Fury, not Wind Fury, but a Fist of Fury, you know, you can negate a lot of damage. So let's just start the game here, talking about my talents, blah blah blah. So here in the opener, my main goal is to try to get at least some damage in the opener. So you can see here what I was doing. I'm gonna do the conduit trick that I was talking about earlier. Now I actually fucked it up here. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh yeah, also one thing here, actually very important. You can pet taunt and you can root this earth elemental, which is gonna be very beneficial. So here so the reason why I stun trap really early here is because they can go really aggressive instantly. Now, I don't want this to happen, so I just stun trap. Like, my damage won't really matter here in the opener anyway, because he has a Fleshcraft shield, so I just don't want them to, like, completely get everything in the opener, because how it works versus Earth Elemental teams is that if you can live the Earth Elemental, you basically just win the game. So, here you can see I click on the Earth Elemental, I pet taunt it, and then I move my pet away, so say my pet is chilling hard. And then I'm also rooting him. Let's make sure that I, do it so like the monk can't really do damage to me or my healer. It's like the most important thing. And then just make sure to press a wing clip if you have the time. So here I do the same thing as well. I click on the Earth Elemental, move my pet away, make sure that the Earth Elemental is as far away to my healer as possible. So also this game, it was kind of a bad coordinated assault that I did here, but I mean, that doesn't end up mattering that much. So here is the tip that I was saying. So I have trap ready, but he still has grounding totem, right? So what I do is that I root him with steel trap, and then I press chakrams on the monk. Now the plan is when the chakrams comes back, I can just trap him like this. So it's like very clean way to trap versus shamans, very fun to do as well. So here another thing, pet taunt the Earth Elemental awake, so I see that they're trying to do a go, target Swen, scare beast Swen, just peel every way you can, just make sure your healer doesn't die. Like survival, you can peel so much, you just have to just play good enough kinda. And also you've been seeing here, I haven't necessarily been in melee range the entire game, right? Like, I've never been in, I mean, maybe I did like 2 Raptor Strikes, but pay attention to my damage, right? And also, if you want to, I have all of my globals here to the left. If you want to analyze later on, you can see what I'm pressing. But you can do a lot of damage as a survival hunter without actually being in melee range. So, and then here I do the same thing: Scare Beast to Swen, Feign Death to Hex, and now the Earth Elemental is gone. And the Earth Elemental maybe did like 2 ticks on my healer, like it did nothing. So my job is kind of done here. Like now I don't need to play super defensive anymore. Now I can just play offensive. So now it's time for us to go hard. So now we just do our shackles, get incapped, but it happens. So here my healer kind of dies, but it happens. This is the proc that I was talking about earlier, by the way. You see how much damage you can do? But my healer's playing the rest legendary, so I'm kind of cool. Yeah, so now I was just trying to do as much damage as I can. And I actually get Ascendance and Spirit Link Totem without actually CCing the healer. So you guys can see how much damage Survival can actually do. It's actually ridiculous. And here, just give my healer freedom away from the Earth Grab Totem. Just try to peel for your healer. It's like the number one thing whenever you're playing with a Holy Priest. So here I think I'm gonna go for a trap. Also, you see how I have set up a Steel Trap Dot, Serpent Sting, Bomb, and you see also how I'm pressing Harpoon and Flanking Strikes? I mean Harpoon and Chakrams. So here I'm going for the combo again, and then I can just wait for my Chakrams to come back, and then I can just trap him. So I start my trap when the monk is at 50% HP. Now, this is the way that you want to use your trap, You don't want to use your trap if the monk is at like 100% health, because then you're not going to get anything. Because then, by the end of your trap, he's going to be at like 50%. But if you're starting your CC when he is at 50%, then that's how you can actually like kill people and stuff. So now here I door over the Ring of Peace, Flanking Strikes for the mobility, I guess, and then just try to do as much damage as I can. Make sure I use my ranged globals into Fist of Fury. Like you see here, I pressed Flayed Shot and Serpent Sting because they go through Fist of Fury, but Raptor Strike doesn't. So that's like one thing you can do as well. And then here I see that he is casting Healing Surge with this little thing. So I managed to get lucky. Oh my god, why is everything lagging? Okay, but I purged the healing moving thing, and then I managed to harpoon kick him on this next cast. So here I do the thing. Also pay attention to like how I looked at my steel trap. Now I could have steel trapped this corner and walked around, but since I knew about the bug, I couldn't do it, so I have to look at my steel trap. And then I just stun him, and then I get incapped here. It kind of just happens, but I mean the game is basically won right now, because I mean they have no trinkets and everything, and I have Chimerial and Trap ready, so I can do a cheeky little Chimerial here, and then notice how I mean I could have trapped him here, but I want to wait for the silence so he can't ground my trap. So then I just go for a little disengage into a trap combo. And then, I mean, I have so much damage. The karma doesn't matter. He just completely just falls down to the floor, and then we win the game. Sounds like a fun game to look at. I also have one match where I was against an Asa, not an Asa rogue. Yeah, actually Asa rogue. Yeah, here. So I just want to show you a little bit about like when to use your bleeds, stuff like that. So let me show you this matchup. Maybe I zoom in, scroll to when he actually opens. Okay, wait, soon. Okay, here. Oh yeah, so the talents that I'm playing Roar of Sacrifice, Knock, and Bandage. Oh my god, why am I zooming in way too much? Maybe go over here. Maybe here. Okay, whatever, this is good. We'll just watch the game. He's probably gonna open pretty soon. So the way that I have to peel for my healer is that I have Roar of Sacrifice, I have Knock Harpoon into Steel Trap, and I have bandage, and I have freedom. So those are going to be the tools that I will be using to peel from my healer. And here you can see, do the same thing as well. Pet taunt the infernal, move my pet away. And then you notice how I'm not stun trapping immediately. Now there's two reasons for it. Number one, he has fleshcraft shield, so it doesn't matter. Second off is because also in the opener here, you never want to be melee range to an Asa rogue in the opener, because as I was talking about earlier, blah 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 blah, this little thing, wowie, Asa rogues in the opener, they love to do this, where they use subterfuge. So for the 3 seconds after they break stealth, they can do a garrote that deals 80% more damage. So basically I will just force him, or like he will force my feign death or bandage just by being close to him in the opener. Plus he can sheep shot me, which is kind of cringe, because then I can get sheep shot into Hex by the healer. So that's the reason why I'm not playing on the rogue in the opener, in case anyone is wondering. So here I get rooted, very sad, I just freed him. And then now the fleshcraft shield is kind of over. My healer is coming out of the kidney shot, so now I can stun. Now I can initiate CC. So here I just get his bleeds. I get blinded, but whatever, I just trinket that shit. Then we force the trinket here, because we have a lot of pressure now, like a lot of dam. And then he pressed the EV, so like now that he pressed EV, I can't really do anything. Like I just can't. So therefore I just, you know, whatever, just like wing clip the earth elemental, like whatever. Pet taunt, move him away, kill the healing tide. I mean, you know, kind of just waiting out the evasion. So here I can just feign death the Hex, and then I'm moving over here, so in case he presses Hex again, he can't press Hex on me. So I'm just trying to move away. I have bandage in 7 seconds, and I know that he has kidney shot, so I know that like my next go, I'm just gonna knock harpoon him away. So here he presses kidney shot, so I do the knock, and then I harpoon him, but then he presses sprint, but it kind of happens. So then here, you know, I can do another. I actually get hexed here, but it's gonna break because he's hitting me plus the earth elemental. And then he applies a lot of shit to me, but this doesn't matter because I'm playing with Craven stratagem, so I can just feign death everything here. So then I just kill the grounding totem, do the little cheeky trap, and then now my guy is in really big trouble. So same thing as well, like even though this is during my own go, you still have to respect the earth elemental, right? So I keep doing the thing where I target it, pet taunt, and then move my pet away. You know, so the earth elemental is kind of chilling hard, you know, he's not harassing either one of us. And then here, before the go, I do a steel trap into a bandage, so my healer can like run away. Because the thing now is like we win the game in 14 seconds, right? So the one thing that I want to do is just to give my healer enough time to win, or just to be annoying. So here I can just feign death the Hex as well, so kind of cool. I mean, actually, it would have been better to press my bandage now. But in the moment, I was just thinking, maybe I can just steel trap bandage and then my healer can like get behind the pillar, so it gets really hard for the rogue to like even attack him. But I mean, that doesn't really matter. I mean, he doesn't have enough damage because I got his bleeds, right? So he has to like in his kidney, he can't press envenom. He has to like press garrote. I mean, yeah, the rupture and stuff. So it just gets kind of awkward. And I guess now, I mean, you can see the survival is just unhealable dam. Like at the start of my stun, he was at 50% health, and then I do like a, you know, illegal damage, and then he just kind of dies. Nothing he can do. Yeah, this matchup is kind of one-sided, by the way. Super cool. So I guess the one thing I want to talk about a little bit in this game is just make sure that you do as much damage as you can before you actually land the CC, and that's like the most important thing. Let me see if I'll have maybe another game that I can talk about. Oh, I guess this game. This game, I'm against BM Hunter Holy Priest. My talents for this game is Roar of Sacrifice, Bandage, and Chimerial Sting. So how the opener is going to play out is that I need to be scared of Holy Ward and Greater Fade, because this is such a momentum heavy matchup that if he ever, and I mean if he ever immunes one of my stuns, then it's gonna be really hard for me to land a trap. So as I was talking about earlier, you always want to prep your damage a little bit, but the problem with prepping your damage in some cases is that it leaves room for counterplay. So here, by me stunning while I'm still in stealth, it makes it very hard for the priest to react. So he can't like Greater Fade or Holy Ward my stun because I'm in stealth. So it's gonna, you know, he has to like preemptively know it, you know. So here, also one thing is that I'm Flayed shotting his pet. And the reason why I'm Flayed shotting the pet is because with Craven's stratagem, this thing that removes everything, you know, you can just remove Flayed shot from himself by pressing Feigned F. So yeah, because the damage of Flayed shot doesn't really matter. The only thing that I really care about is the kill shot, right? So if I can do it on the pet so he can't Feigned F it, then that's good for me, yeah. So I do one Flayed shot into one bomb into one trap, and you see here I have a tell me one for whenever my pet gets a Flayed shot. So what I can do here is mending bandage the Flayed shot on my pet with this cheeky little macro. Take a look at this. Yeah, okay, so this is the macro that like Flayed shots the pet, and then here is my macro to mending bandage my pet. So I just press those and then I'm kind of chilling hard. So then here in the opener you see how he presses Feigned F, but he still has crows. So also one thing is like if he presses Feigned F, you can press Chimerial Sting on him. So he gets super slowed, so it gets like really hard for him. So he has to press Freedom, which is good because if he's freedoming, then he can't use it on his healer, and then I can like abuse that, you know? So here we just do a lot of dog shit dime with the opener. You know, we get a big Maledict that he presses Meld on, but it's kind of whatever. So here it's time to run. Now, why is it time to run? Well, the reason why is because my healer's gonna get feared. He popped every cooldown in the opener, and I don't want my healer to drink it. So I'm just gonna run away. Now I can tank this because I can just Feigned F this. And then I run behind the pillar. No, I'm hugging the pillar because I don't want them to press Maledicts on me. So if they can channel a Maledict, then I'm gonna be in really big trouble, right? But then unfortunately I have to turtle because I get scared and stuff, but it kind of happens. And then here I get outplayed. Yeah, he just fades my trap, but it kind of happens. So right now the game is kind of even. We kind of pressed like the same amount of cooldowns. It's like we traded their trinkets for my turtle, which is kind of fair, you know, because I still have trinket, he still has trinket, so we're kind of even right now in the game. And then here, you see, I pressed Flayed shot on my pet. So what I do is that I pet attack his pet, so my pet gets over to me, so I can mending bandage my own pet. And then I'm gonna, you know, I'm just gonna like bait the pet around the pillar here, because the hunter has to send his pets back, right? Which means that now I'm taking no damage. So now I'm just gonna door waste because I want to get over to my healer. And then I get gripped, and then very cool. So yeah. Also, one thing that is really good into PM hunters that you can abuse is that if you press Tar Trap around a pillar, it makes it very hard for the pets to actually hit you. So you can see here the pets are like really slowed and stuff like that. And also you can like pet taunt the pets to make them not attack you for like a little bit. So then here I'm just trying to go for a little cheeky trap. I bait the death, and then he faded my trap because he's an absolute legend. But we still get the stun, so we get something at least. And then we actually get turtle, which is really huge. So here I'm, you know, doing the same thing. Like the reason, like I'm not trying to kill the pets. I mean, naturally I'm trying to kill the pets. That's like why I'm attacking the pet. But the reason why I'm attacking the pet is so I take less damage, because this means that he has to send his pets back. So if I'm that behind the pillar, and there's no pet hitting me, then I can't die, you know? Which is why you see here I moved my pet back, because I don't want him to like go around here, stuff like that. So yeah. And here I just do like a cheeky silence just for fun. Move my pet back because I see that he got bandaged, so I get the Flayed shot on him. So here, you know, the game pace is in a really good state. They have no trinket still. I guess I have trinket, so I can trinket offensively. So right now I'm just trying to get either the Fade or the Holy Ward and Death, and then just land a trap. But if I just harpoon over to the healer, you know, I'm gonna tank a lot of damage. And what if I don't land the trap? That's the problem. The problem with me just harpoon trapping right now is that if I miss the trap, then I'm in really big trouble. Because the reason why they're not pushing into us is because they're really scared of our go. So if I just chill and relax and wait on their mistakes, then we're gonna win eventually, you know? So right here, I'm just waiting out. I'm gonna see what's happening. Like, I'm fine playing like this because we're winning on mana. So I can just kind of play like this if I really want to. So here you see like their positioning is getting a little bit worse. And the reason why I'm safe to do this trap, like I see that their positioning is like a little bit weird, is because my healer's playing here, Hunter's playing here. Even if I miss this trap, I can just go over here. And then my healer can heal me, but the hunter can't attack me. So while I was like chilling at the pillar the entire time, I was kind of waiting for like an opportunity where they're split in a way where even if the trap doesn't work out, I'm not gonna get punished for it. So you see here, he presses Fade, and then I was like, oh shit, yeah, I'm not gonna get the trap, whatever. I'll just go back to my healer. Like it's fine, like it really is, like I don't care. So, you know, even though I didn't really get the trap, it's kind of fine because he doesn't have Fade, and I have stun in 8 seconds, so like, whatever. So here I get rooted, very annoying. I can't freedom because my pet got feared, so that's kind of yikes. I don't want to feign death because I'm afraid of his maledict, so... But I'm still kind of okay here because like he doesn't have that much damage. But now, however... Now... I have my stun ready. So I can just stun the healer here. Oh my god, I can stun the healer. He has no trinket for this. I have coordinated assault, and then I get the trap, and then the hunter is just completely kaput. Look at the overkill we have. We have trap, and then we have fear out of this. Like, the hunter was so dead. Plus I had my melee still, so... This is kind of just how you have to play. You know, just chillax, relax. You can't tank all of the damage in the world and expect to win. You have to play smart, you have to play around the positioning, like play around how they're playing, stuff like that, blah blah blah. I hope this made a little bit of sense. I'm gonna see if I have another game maybe that I can go over. I think this game we lose, so that's a little bit awkward. Yeah, I think this we lose because... No, wait, we actually won this game. Okay, let me talk about this game. I actually don't remember what happens here, so I guess this is gonna be like commentary on the fly. Yeah. Let's see here. What do we have? Oh, yeah, also here, I was playing Knock Trap because the game before, the monk didn't go me at all. Like, he only went on my healer. So, I just decided, instead of survival tactics, I can just go knock, and then I can maybe, like, knock the monk away. And let me make it a bit faster, actually. I feel like it's so slow. Playback speed. Let's just do it like this. It kind of works. Oh my, now it's like really, really slow. Never mind. Okay, right now I just do normal speed. Until I get the opener, and then I can maybe slow it down. So yeah, here, you know, as I was saying earlier, like, you want to get some damage rolling before anything happens. You see here, I actually did I did the conduit thing right. You know, I targeted the monk, hunters marked the paladin, and then I targeted the paladin and I hunters mark him. Yeah, if that makes any sense. Did that make... Oh no, it's on. I'm talking. Or should I have to mute myself? So I see here, like, I'm not popping anything. I'm just kind of chilling. I just want to try to break this break the thing. It's like the most important. So here, also, one thing. You see how I press pet? Let me slow it down. This is now the game is happening actually. Oh no. Playback. Slower. Okay. So, what I'm doing here. Wait, am I trolling? Okay, never mind. So, in the opener here, I pet passived in case thinking he was gonna leg sweep. But I pre-sacked because naturally, if my pet is leg swept, I can't press Roar of Sacrifice, so I can't do anything. So yeah, but in this scenario, like I got the stun anyway, so it's fine. And then here, very awkward. I get the incapped, but it kind of happens. So here I try to bait his sack because I harpoon thinking he will sack, but then he doesn't do it. And then here I see that he pet taunt, so I move my pet stationary, and then I trap. So you see how my pet kind of immune this pet taunt thing. So what you can do is, this is really good into paladins, by the way. You can just do harpoon trap and then move the pet like here. So even if he pet taunts right now, you know, the pet move command will override the pet taunt, which is good to know. We kind of overlap the fear because I guess Luby thought that I wouldn't want to go for the trap, but in reality, I just wanted to bait sack. But it happens. So here we get a very unfortunate longest leg sweep of mankind, but it's kind of whatever. So right now, my only focus is try to live. I see that it presses Swen, so let me see. Do you guys remember what I'm gonna do to a Swen? Take a guess. Uh-oh, pet taunt Swen, scare beast Swen. But the thing is, I know that XBA, like this pal is really good, so I'm gonna retarget Swen because I saw that he got dispelled, and I'm gonna scare beast him again. Very cool. It kind of happens. So here, shackles. I think my healer flies. I try to use Door of Shadows to break the shackle, but I mean, he flew up in the air, so therefore I stopped it. Yeah, we have PewDiePie attacking me for a little bit, but it's kind of fine. I just feign def some piss damage for no real reason. Like this feign def, I only really use it so they de-target me. Says I don't have Craven. I mean, I don't have survival tactics. I won't get a shield whenever I feign def. So here, I'm only really gonna press feign def so they de-target me, so they lose like a little bit of damage. And so here, I just go for the cheeky little trap, get the trinket. Also, in case you noticed how I forced the trinket because I have a lot of damage rolling on the monk. Naturally, if I didn't have any damage, then the pally wouldn't need to do anything, you know, right? So here, they're trying to go me. Like, instead of my healer trinketing to heal me, I just turtle, like, whatever. I have Bone Dust Brew on me as well, like, there's infinite damage, so I just turtle and chill, and it's kind of cool. Because, like, I don't want my healer to trinket to save me in this matchup. I never want that to happen. So you can see here, I'm just trying to stand on the healer, mainly because I have kick available, so I'm trying to like kick him if I can. Plus, there's no real reason to be on the monk, because like I'm gonna lose, because he can just like do damage to us both. So you see here, he presses Fist of Fury the second that I go melee range, so I'm just gonna dip out. But you see here, I have Stun Trap available, but I pressed Flayed Shot first because I want to get some damage rolling. So I Flayed Shot and then I stun, but my pet is rooted. So it's very awkward. So now I can stun. And then incap here. And this MC is kind of good, because then he can't leg sweep me out. And I get a little cheeky trap. And then now I'm scared of the monk because he has the leg sweep. So my plan here was to flanking strikes, disengage away. But then my healer's stunned, so that's kind of cool. So but then I do this slow thing because I want to bait the Tiger's Fury, and then I can steel trap him out. That was like the plan. So here he's turbo slowed, he can't do anything. So I just try to run away as much as I can. Here, you can actually feign def the Karma dot. So like, you know the dot from Touch of Karma that you take damage, it redirects. You can feign death the damage component, but you can't actually feign death the karma. So that's why I was free to hit into karma, because I knew that it wouldn't really do that much damage anyway. So, and then here, you know, this would have been way better if I got Tiger's Lust with my Chimerial, but I guess now I just kind of got the Tiger's Fury. So here I just do a Harpoon because I was trying to get away, because my healer flew up in the air, so I can take a lot of damage right now. So he pressed Bone Dust on me as I knocked him away, which is really lucky, because now I can feign death to remove this. You see? The Bone Dust. And in case you guys don't know what the Bone Dust brew is, it's this little thing. Let me show you. Soulbinds. Let me go Necrolord. Let me go Monk. Here. Hurl a brew at the bone target, blah blah blah. Your abilities have a 50% chance to do damage again at 35% efficiency. So what a lot of monks can do is that they can Bone Dust brew, and then they can pop all of their cooldowns, and if they get lucky, they can essentially just one-shot someone. Like, I have had it. I remember one time I was playing threes, and there was a monk that did 20k damage single target with one Bone Dust brew. So he must have gotten the most luck ever. So whenever I see this thing, I just sort of feign death it instantly, because you can remove it with Craven Stratagem. Oh, it's so broken. Anyway, back to the game. He decided to go on my healer here, so I pressed War of Sacrifice on him because I feigned death his bone brew, so I guess he got kind of annoyed. So here I just go for the cheeky little door into trap, but then, yeah. So I actually trinketed this because I think we can kill him here, because I see that he doesn't have the diffuse. So, and he doesn't have leg sweep for 42 seconds, so it's like, whatever, I can just trinket here and it's chill. So we actually get bubble with my trinket, which I think is a fair trade, in my opinion. So here, you know, I'm free to go melee range because he doesn't have leg sweep, so I'm just trying to do as much damage as I can. But then this fear is very obnoxious, but it kind of happens, so just make sure you press wing clip as much as you can. Really good MC, actually. Wing clip again to get the freedom. So now that he freedomed himself, this means that we can do some damage to the monk here. So I try to set up. Oh yeah, oh my god, I remember this game. Oh, this game is so awkward. Do you guys know what I should have done in this scenario? I should have just ran to the monk instead of doing this, what I'm trying to do to the healer. Oh man, I remember this game. I think I'm even explaining it how it's so bad. Let me actually hear what I'm saying. I remember being so frustrated that it's such a bad play that I'm attacking the healer right now. Because if I'm attacking the healer, he can just karma soon, and the paladin will get his trinket back. So, like, I don't want the game to reset. I want to kill him and punish him right now. But since I'm just chilling here doing nothing, like, I'm allowing them to, like, get the advantage. Let me actually say, let me see what I'm saying. Let me go view. Is it playback? Speed. Okay, let me see here. Oh, this is really bad for us now. Yeah, this is really awful. Also, yeah. I should have just chased him. I don't know what I was doing on top of the healer here. Definitely this was just my bad. Yeah, okay, yeah. I was very... Because, like, I realized that... now, luckily, I'm so thankful that the monk here, he just decided to go in, even though they would have been really good play by them by just, like, chilling back and relaxing. But it's kind of whatever. So let me go back to playback here. Speed. Okay, let's go. Let's go back to game-by-game commentary. So here, you know, he presses bop, I purge the bop, I go for the harpoon trap. Things have happened, I got the PI on me, oi oi oi. I see Bone Dust brew my healer, so I press Roar of Sacrifice. And then he presses Swen, so I gotta make sure that I knock the Swen and the boy away. And then, can I taunt Swen? What am I doing? Am I gonna taunt Swen? Now I taunt Swen, and then I scare Beast Swen. Very cool. Kick the Fleshcraft, and then now, guys, do you see the win condition in sight? We have stun, mind games. He has no defuse. I have stun trap available. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Soon might be the win. So if we just live this for like a couple of seconds, we're gonna win. Right now, look. This into my stun. He trinkets. And then, big dam. Maybe. He might die. He's chasing the monk. And then he got proc wing, so I guess he's fine. Look at the steel trap. He doesn't have the tigers thing. Oi, oi, oi. So here I'm just trying to like fake my door on top of the healer in case he's casting like a flash heal or whatever. So, but yeah. So here basically my only job right now is to live. But I have knock still, so I'm kind of fine. And then, yeah, I'm just trying to like get the trap here because I know that if I can get the trap into the fear, we're going to win the game. So here I see this, the paladin taunt. So I trap, move my pet away from the healer. And then now maybe we can win. If we just get the fear out, we're going to win. So I'm just going to do like run away from this. I see that I have bone up brew. So I need to run away from him because I'm very scared right now. And then I just have illegal damage and then he dies. Wow, what a game. What a game by game commentary, actually. But yeah, so you can see here, basically, the way that I was trying to play this game is that just do as much damage as you can. Know when to play offensive, know when to play defensive. Yeah, know how to prioritize your spells. Let me actually talk about the prioritizing your spells, because I feel like a lot of people haven't really done that. So the number one prio before anything else, before you press anything, is bomb. This is your most damaging ability. It does the most damage. Press bomb before everything else. I don't care. I guess maybe kill shot is like a little bit higher value if you get the proc, but for the most part, you want to press your bomb the second that they come up. If you ever find yourself in a scenario where you see the number 2 here on your bomb, you're doing something wrong. You're like fucking up your rotation. It's not good. You want to make sure all of your bombs are gone, you know? You can also weave your bombs a little bit like this, you know? And then the second that it comes up, you should be able to do one more soon. And then now you press the second that it comes up, damn. And from now on, it's going to be very hard to overlap your bombs because, you know, you need to wait like a little bit before you can press your bomb again. So, yeah. One thing that I would recommend when it comes to holding your damage a little bit is that try to save at least one bomb, flayed shot, and flanking strikes before every go, if possible. So if you want to kill this guy, what you can do maybe in the opener is that you can do something like a flayed shot here, stun, maybe a serpent sting, bomb, do like one trap, and you can do like a raptor strike to get some usage out of the focus you get from flanking, and then press flanking strikes. That's kind of what I would say. I would have some key notes to try to press at least one bomb and one flanking strikes for every trap that you do. That's kind of what I would say. Because if you do that, your damage profile should be really good. And yeah, I mean, just maintain Serpent Sting 100% of the time. Press bomb on cooldown. Try to press flanking strikes once per trap if possible. Press flayed shot before your trap. Preferably maybe like 3 seconds before, so you give yourself enough RNG to maybe get like a kill shot proc, and then trap. And then now, while you're gonna do your rotation, you see, you're gonna get fed some kill shot procs to do some big damn. Because the worst thing that can happen is if you trap and then you press flayed shot, and then you get unlucky during those 8 seconds, you don't get a kill shot proc. That's like the worst thing imaginable. So you want to always try to press flayed shot before your trap. Yeah, those are kind of the rules that I would say when it comes to dealing damage. And also this is like a little bit cringe, but I guess I kind of just realized I haven't necessarily talked about the Craven Stratagem legendary. But yeah, just go Craven Stratagem. It's the best legendary by far. does a lot of damage. I mean, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it allows you to deal more damage than other damaged legendaries. If that makes any sense. Because you can play more aggressive with Craven, because you can live for a longer time. So you don't have to worry about like being scared to go in, because you can be in melee range more often with Craven, because you can just feign death any like spooky spell you might get on yourself. If that makes any sense. Plus you can feign death slows, you can feign death roots. You will have feign death up more available for the shackle trinket, so you can feign death the cast, blah blah blah. Like, it's so good. It's the best legendary in the game. Now, if you don't know how this works, is that it removes everything that deals damage. So any magic effect that deals damage, any curse effect, any poison, like a bleed, you know, disease, whatever, any slow, stuff like that. It will remove healing reduction effects from feral druids and acid rogues. But it won't remove healing reduction from like warriors and hunters and stuff like that. So one thing to know as well is that there are 3 dots in the game that Craven does not remove, and it's Thrash, it's the Hunt, and it's a Murder of Crows. So these are the 3 spells that Craven does not remove. I don't know why it doesn't remove Thrash. I don't know why it doesn't remove this damage over time effect, and I don't know, but it's just the way it is. These are the 3 damaging abilities that it does not remove. There was a time during beta where it didn't remove the Tiger Eye thing from Monks. This. But now it removes Eye of the Tiger, so I don't know, that's just good to know. These are the things it does not remove, so very awkward, but it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, I think that is actually gonna be the guide for this patch. So if there's anything that I've missed, or if there's anything that you guys wanna hear me talk about, you can feel free to go over to my Twitch and you can like ask me a question over there. Maybe you can go to my Discord, hit me up with a question over there, or just talk about in the YouTube comments. I'm gonna try to like be as like, I don't know, like as responsible as I can. So if you have a question, maybe I will answer it 99% of the time. I hope. We'll see. Or if, I mean, yeah, as I said earlier, if there's anything else that you want me to go more in depth into, then feel free to ask. Or if you want me to like go over your own gameplay, like you can send me, you know, stuff like this. You can send me your own VOD and I can talk about the game. I can be like, hey bro, you fucked up this. Maybe you should have done this instead. Like here, this was bad, you could have done this, or like this was really good. Like in this scenario, you could have pressed War of Sacrifice on your healer. I don't know what I'm doing, I'm trolling, you know, stuff like that. So if you want to improve and you want to have like a little bit more personal thing, you can just ask me on Discord, and you can be like, hey Bicmex bro, I have a game, can you talk about the game please, I want to get better, blah blah blah, stuff like that. So yeah, or maybe if you want, actually I went over my macros and my keybinds like 1 billion times, so I feel like it's not really necessary. I would just recommend going to this paste bin. My macros here, I talk about all of my macros like with the stuff, and like I explain everything. Same thing with my keybinds. Let me go over to my Nightbite actually. Here I have it on my keybinds. I talk about them as well. Let me go see here. Soon I will find it. Where's K in the alphabet? Oh yeah, here. Yeah, here, like you can see all of my binds that I have, blah blah blah. So, and also if you're wondering about my UI, I have a video talking about my UI as well. You can also go into my Twitch over here. Let's go to my channel. Actually, it's just add-ons. Actually, I just go over here to my Nightbot. Here, add-ons. So in this thing, yeah, you see like the picture. You can see every add-on that I have. Blah 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 blah. And if you wanna get like my profiles for the add-ons, you can click on my Discord. And then in my Discord, I have this nifty little thing called like the saved variables. So you can just, you know, you can go to my, I have a video tutorial on like how to set it up as well, but you just download this and then, you know, you can just watch the video and you can like see. So here are like all of the add-ons that I have that you can't get from CurseForge or whatever. So yeah, it's a lot of information out there about like replicating my UI and stuff like that, plus my macros. So I feel like I maybe shouldn't go over it in this guide because then this guide is going to be like 3 hours long. I mean, like what have you been at right now? How long is the guide? It's like almost 2 hours already. And like I feel like I can talk more, but I feel like I'm gonna keep it at around 2 hours because then, you know, that's kind of it. Yeah, but I think that's it. So yeah, thanks for watching. I don't know if there's a single person on the entire planet that watched this entire video, but if you did, I guess thank you for watching and stuff. And yeah, I hope to see you on my Twitch. That's usually where you can like interact with me and you can ask me some questions if you want to be more specific about something. Because like, I don't know, I feel like it's very hard to make a guide because there's so much information and like everything is just really personal and it's down to your own like thing. Because maybe some people need to work about, you know, they need to work on their disengages. Maybe some people have that problem with like their keybinds are bad. Maybe some people just have issues with like their UI is really horrible, so it makes like looking at stuff really hard. Or maybe people just have the game plan wrong, which I was talking about earlier with like maybe they just trap instantly first global always and then they do damage. Or as I was talking about in this game versus the Hunter, like this game, if you remember, like I had my trap available for like a really long time, but I didn't go for it because I knew that if I waited for a moment like this, where I have stun trap available, I can just kill him. So if you remember here, right? So here I know that if I just chill and wait, I'm gonna win the game. Like I don't need to over chase for this trap. Like why would I? Like I could just wait until I see that here they are split in the perfect way where I can land the trap, and if I get it, it's good. But if I don't get it, it's whatever. Because I could just disengage back and I won't get punished. You know? So it's really just about like game sense and everything. And talking about this is like so hard in a guide because everything is just like up to your own personal things, like depending on like how you play the game and stuff like that. Like everyone needs to work on different things. So I can only really talk about general stuff in guides, obviously. So, yeah. Hope you guys understand. I feel like right now I'm just sort of rambling because I want to have 2 hours on my guide, but yeah. Here I talked a little bit about, okay. This is just like a spell queue window. Oh, I can quickly talk about the spell queue window. Let's go. Okay. Guys, one thing, the spell queue window. Let me talk about it actually. I love talking about the spell queue window. So how the spell queue window works is that, let me go over here to my macro. So I have it set to 175. So let me put it down to 400, which is what everyone is gonna have it set to. Let me put it here. So here you can see I have 400 spell queue window, right? So what the window does is that if I can press a spell before it goes off, and then it's gonna get like put in a queue system, and then it's gonna activate the second that it's off global cooldown. So you can see in this scenario, right? I'm pressing my bomb, and I'm gonna press my Raptor Strike really early. Look, Now. Oh wait, a little bit. Now. 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 Like you see how I pressed my spells before they were available, but the spell still went off. And the reason for it is because this means that I have a 400 millisecond window where I can press my spells before they're gonna go off. So this is really good in PvE and PvP because it makes sure that you get like maximum damage because you pressed your spells the second that they will come up if you're spamming. So let me put this down to 0 so you guys can see. Oh, let me drop combat actually. Let me put it down to 0 and then click it. So now you can see that I have it set to 0. Now I can only press my Raptor Strike when it's up. So let me show you. Click now, it won't go off. Click now, now. See there? It didn't go off. One more time. Again, it didn't go off. Now. See? I can't actually like wind up the spell. I can only press Raptor Strike or any other button on my, you know, like once they are available to me. So this makes it so you're gonna miss out on a lot of damage because, you know, people aren't really perfect. Like they can't really press the button that the second that they come up, you know? That's just like impossible. So you're gonna lose a lot of damage by having a 0 spell queue window. Now, why don't everyone just have it set to 400? The reason why is because there are some problems with having it to 400 that can actually be fixed. So let's say, for example, you are spamming your Raptor Strike and then you want to maybe trap someone, but you already pressed Raptor Strike before during this 400 millisecond window, so your trap won't go off even though you press your trap because your Raptor Strike is like winded up and it's gonna go off the second that it's available. This is where we have this beautiful macro /CQS. This cancels your spell queue window for this one instance, which will mean that, okay, look here. So now I have 400 spell queue window, right? So I'm gonna press 2 and then shift 4, right? So look now. You saw how my Raptor Strike was like blue and it had like lighted up and everything, but since I have /CQS, I stopped this Raptor Strike from going off and it swapped over to my freezing trap. So for example, if I would have done a thing where like I press Raptor Strike and then like I press another spell, then it won't be queued up. It's gonna prioritize my Raptor Strike because I've already pressed it and there's no turning back. But with this command, you can stop your spell queue window. So let me show you. Here I have it set to my kill shot. So let me show you kind of how it works. So if I attack like, let me attack this dummy for example, and I do a Raptor Strike, you do a Raptor Strike kill command. I mean kill shot. Look at this now. Look at this. You see? So how I cancelled my Raptor Strike. So this can be good on your intimidation, your freezing trap, and your kill shot, because having a high spell queue window will make sure that you can do as much damage as possible. But it also means that if you spam your buttons too hard and you press, for example, a Raptor Strike when you maybe got a kill shot proc, in the meantime, you can cancel the wind up and you can do the kill shot. So I would highly recommend making your spell queue window to maybe something like, I don't know, 200 millisecond. I have it set personally to 175, but that's just me. And I'm clicking it, yeah, 175. So I can still get like a lot of, like I can press the spell before it actually goes off, and it's gonna activate the second that my GCD will allow it. But if I change my mind while I'm spamming my spells, I can still do a trap, even though I pressed Raptor Strike or Serpent Sting or Kill Command like a little bit earlier. So that's like a really cool tip that you can do. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I literally can't think of anything else that I would want to go over. Feel like that's kind of it. I guess the one thing I can talk about is like 3v3 compositions, but now this guide is too long, so no one is gonna care. But you can play with a Feral Druid, you can play with a Shadow Priest, you can play with a Red Paladin, you can play with a Sub Rogue. I think these 4 comps are the best. With a Survival Hunter. And they're all pretty easy to play as well. Like with a Feral Druid, you literally just stun, trap, fear the healer. With a Shadow Priest, you just trap, Mind Bomb into maybe a Silence to kill. With a Red Paladin, you just stun, trap, kill with the wings. And with a Sub Rogue, you just stun, trap, kill the main guy in a stun lock. So yeah, they're all fairly easy to play. They all follow the same thing with just like CC the healer, and then make sure you have some sort of lockdown on the main target, and then you just kill the main target. But yeah, I think that's gonna it. Okay, bye guys. Hope you enjoy the guide. And yeah, I'll see you on my Twitch. Yeah, I'll see you there. Peace out, adios. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.